I already introduced Ethan to the lead coordinator while you were at the refreshment table, Emily.
You always seem to be steps ahead when it comes to managing my husband's social life.
This is the instability I was telling you about. She can't handle seeing you succeed.
Emily, what is wrong with you?
Enjoy your meeting, Ethan. I hope she gives you the support you're looking for. I am finished with all of it.
I told them we'd stop by the house for a bit before the main dinner. It's a milestone, and I don't want to just send a text.
I already packed the wine they like. We're ready whenever you are.
You're always 2 steps ahead of me. I don't know how you keep the schedule straight.
It's because I actually look at the calendar you ignore.
Fair point. You look beautiful tonight, by the way. I was thinking, after the gathering, maybe we just drive home the long way?
No stops, no late night calls, just us?
Just us. The world can wait until tomorrow morning.
I'd like that. It feels like we've been running on autopilot all week.
Well, the autopilot is off. Tonight is about family. And then it's about us.
Hold still. You're going to be the most handsome man in that room.
As long as you're the one standing next to me, I'm fine with that.
Always. Let's go before we're late.
You have been quiet since we came upstairs. I can tell you are holding on to something, and I would rather we just talk about it than let it sit in the room like a weight between us.
I am not trying to be difficult, Ethan. I just found it hard to sit there tonight while our plans were pushed aside for a phone call that could have easily waited until Monday morning.
We have been over this. Ruth is finally seeing traction on a project that has been a dream for a decade. She is excited, and she wanted to share that momentum with me because I am the only person who truly understands the complexity of the work involved.
I understand the work, Ethan. What I do not understand is why her excitement must come at the expense of our time. It isn't just about one call. It is the way she occupies a space in our life that should be private. It is the way you look at your phone before you look at me.
That is an unfair comparison. My relationship with her is purely intellectual and historical. We are talking about architecture and legacies, not feelings or secrets. I do not see why you are making this a competition when there is no prize to win.
It is about boundaries. I am not asking you to delete your past, but I am asking you to respect our present. When she calls late at night or brings up inside jokes that intentionally leave me out, it creates a distance. I feel like a guest in my own marriage.
You are being insecure right now, and it is exhausting to defend a friendship that is completely transparent. Ruth has been there through every major shift in my life. She is like family. You wouldn't ask me to stop talking to a sister.
A sister knows her place in the hierarchy of a man's life. Ruth behaves as though she has a permanent seat at the table where only a wife should sit. I am trying to protect the peace of our home, Ethan.
By acting suspicious of a woman who has done nothing but support my goals? That doesn't keep us close, Emily. It just makes me feel like I have to walk on eggshells. I know Ruth's heart. She is harmless.
And I am the person you made a covenant with. Does my discomfort not carry more weight than her desire to share a memory?
Your discomfort is based on a version of reality that doesn't exist. I am not going to throw away a lifelong friend just because you had a bad mood. I am going to sleep. Tomorrow, you will see that everything is perfectly normal.
Ethan? I've been sitting here looking at a cold dinner for 2 hours. I tried calling you 3 times earlier, but it went straight to voicemail. Where are you?
I am so sorry, Emily. I truly am. I completely lost track of time. Things shifted so quickly this afternoon at the office that I didn't even have a moment to check my messages.
You didn't have a moment to send a 10-second text to say you wouldn't be home for dinner. I've been worried, thinking something might have happened to you on the road.
Nothing happened. It is just that Ruth came by the office right as I was packing up. She reminded me about this gathering for one of our old friends from the architecture program. It was one of those legendary mentors we always talked about. I couldn't miss the chance to see him while he's in town.
You went to a party. You went to a party with Ruth without even mentioning it to me?
Emily, you've been so tense about her lately that I honestly felt like you wouldn't allow me to go without making it a huge ordeal. I just wanted one night where I didn't have to explain myself or defend a simple invitation.
Who am I even to you, Ethan? Am I your wife? Or am I just a roommate you inform about your life when it's convenient? You are at a social event with another woman, while I am here wondering if you are lying in a ditch somewhere.
Please do not start this. This is exactly what I was trying to avoid. There is nothing bad happening here. We are in a room full of people talking about career milestones. This is not the time to start a fight over nothing.
It is not nothing. It is the disrespect of being ignored. You didn't forget to call me, Ethan. You chose not to call me because you valued your peace at the party more than my peace at home.
You are pushing this way too far. I said I was sorry I forgot.
I don't even know what to tell you anymore. Every time I express a boundary, you turn it into a lecture about my behavior. It's fine. It's just fine. Enjoy your legendary night.
Emily, wait.
I am glad I caught you outside. I've been feeling a bit uneasy since the other night, and I didn't want any weird energy sitting between us.
I didn't realize there was any energy to address. Ethan and I have already handled our private discussions regarding that evening.
Of course you have. But I know how Ethan gets when he feels guilty. He probably came home all apologetic, didn't he? I told him at the party that he was being a bit reckless by not checking in with you. I specifically said, Ethan, you know how Emily values her schedule? You should really send a quick note.
You discussed his communication habits with me while you were at the party together.
Not in a bad way. Just in the way old friends do. I've watched him navigate relationships for a long time, so I know his patterns. I actually felt responsible because I was the one who insisted he stay for the keynote speech. He was so worried about the dinner you made, but I told him you're a reasonable woman and you'd understand a once-in-a-lifetime career opportunity.
It is interesting that you feel you have enough insight into our marriage to determine what I would find reasonable.
Oh, don't take it like that. It's just that Ethan vents to me when he's stressed. He mentioned a few weeks ago that things have been a bit heavy at home lately. Lots of talk about boundaries and rules. I told him that every marriage goes through a control phase, and that he just needs to be patient with you while you find your footing.
He told you that? He told you we were having issues with boundaries?
He didn't mean it as a complaint, Emily. He just trusts my perspective, because I've known him since he had nothing. I'm like a safe harbor for his thoughts. I told him, look, Emily just needs to feel secure. Give her some extra attention, and the jealousy will probably fade on its own.
I find it fascinating that you've positioned yourself as a counselor for a marriage you aren't a part of.
I'm just a friend who cares about both of you. I hate seeing him so conflicted. He's such a good man, but he's a free spirit. If you tighten the leash too much, he's gonna stop telling you things altogether, just to keep the peace.
I don't think I need your help managing my husband, Ruth.
See, you don't have to be so defensive with me. I'm on your team. I want him happy, which means I want you happy. I even suggested he take you on that weekend trip you've been hinting at. He wasn't sure if he could swing the time off, but I told him it would be a good peace offering.
You are discussing our vacations and our private arguments as if they are projects you are supervising.
I'm just involved because he involves me. If it makes you feel better, I'll try to be less of a sounding board. But you know Ethan, he's always going to come to me when he needs the truth, without the emotional baggage. Anyway, I should get going. I just wanted to make sure we were good.
We are exactly where I thought we were.
Good. I'll tell Ethan we had a nice little chat. It'll put his mind at ease.
This is exactly what I needed. A good meal and the two people who know me best in one room. It is good that you stayed for dinner, Ruth.
I did not want to intrude. But Ethan can be very persuasive when he is hungry and looking for a conversation. I hope I am not ruining your quiet evening, Emily. This stew smells wonderful, though it is a bit different from the way Ethan's mother used to make it.
It is my own recipe. Ethan has grown to prefer it over the years.
Of course, tastes change. I just remember how much he used to rave about that specific spice blend back in the day. Ethan, do you remember that little kitchen in our first apartment? We practically lived on caffeine and ambition.
Those were lean times, but we were happy. I do not think I could survive on that diet anymore.
He has become so refined, hasn't he, Emily? I suppose that is your influence. It is almost funny to see him so settled. Sometimes I look at him and still see the boy who wanted to backpack across the continent without a map.
People grow up, Ruth. Responsibilities have a way of grounding a person.
True, but I always tell him that he should not lose that spark entirely, even if it makes things a bit unpredictable at home.
I think I am doing a decent job of balancing it.
You are trying, but I can see the effort it takes you. Emily, you have to be gentle with him. He is a visionary. I have always understood that about him. It is why we never fought about the little things.
It is easy to be understanding when you do not have to build a life or a future with someone.
Oh, I am not saying it is easy. I was telling him today that he should not feel guilty for wanting to pursue that new design lead. He was worried you would think it takes too much time away from the house.
I just mentioned it in passing, Ruth.
I know, but I could hear the hesitation in your voice. I am sure she supports your growth as much as I do.
I support my husband's growth, but I also value our partnership. There is a difference between supporting a career and being sidelined by it.
Ethan, I told you she might take it the wrong way. I am truly on your side, Emily.
I think we are all on the same team here. Let's just enjoy the meal.
Exactly, let's keep it light. Emily, this really is a lovely home. It is so organized. It suits your personality perfectly. It is a bit quiet for me, but I can see why Ethan finds it a good place to rest.
I am glad you find it adequate.
Oh, it is more than adequate. It is a sanctuary.
I am sitting here in the dark and I don't even recognize my own life anymore. I look in the mirror and I see a woman who is constantly measuring her words, while another woman speaks for my husband as if she owns his thoughts. It is a slow, quiet invasion. She doesn't use a key to enter this house. She uses his memories. She uses the years I wasn't there to make me feel like a temporary guest in a story that started long ago. I am his wife, yet I am the one walking on eggshells. I am the one being told I am too sensitive for wanting my husband to be present. It is exhausting to fight a shadow that everyone else calls a friend.
Emily, dear, you sound so troubled.
I had to call you, Mom. I feel like I am losing Ethan to Ruth. She is in his phone and in every decision we make. It's like she has become the first wife, and I am just here to manage the house while they share the real intimacy.
Oh, Emily, you mustn't think like that. You are overthinking things, my dear. You have to remember that Ruth has been like a sister to him since they were children. I watched them grow up together. To Ethan, she is just a piece of his childhood, a harmless connection to his past. It isn't that he's putting you second, he just doesn't see her the way you do.
But she told me that he vents to her about our marriage. She's acting like a counselor, Mom. She told me I need to be more gentle with him. How can I stay quiet when she is supervising my relationship?
I understand it feels uncomfortable, but truly, there is no malice in it. They've always shared everything. But I do agree that Ethan needs to realize he is a married man now. You have a beautiful home, and you shouldn't let these little things steal your peace. Don't be bothered by her presence. She's been around forever, and she isn't going anywhere, but she isn't a threat to you.
I want to believe that, but he defends her more than he protects me.
He's just being loyal to an old friend, Emily. But listen, I will talk to him. I'll have a word with my son and tell him he needs to reduce the late-night chats and start setting some proper boundaries. He just needs a little reminder from his mother to focus more on his wife. So please, stop worrying. Go to sleep and leave the rest to me.
I hope he listens to you, Mom. I just feel so unsettled.
Trust the foundation you have. I'll handle Ethan. Go to bed now and don't let this weigh you down. Good night, Emily.
Good night, Mom. Thank you.
This coffee is exactly what I needed. It has been a long few days at the firm, and I feel like I am finally catching my breath.
I have been trying to find the right time to speak with you for the last few days, Ethan. Ever since that dinner with Ruth, things have felt very heavy in this house, and I cannot keep carrying it on my own.
I was hoping we could just have a quiet morning before I head into the office, but I see you've been rehearsing this argument in your head since Tuesday.
I haven't been rehearsing an argument. I have been sitting with the reality that my husband allows another woman to patronize his wife. She spoke to me like a mentor or a counselor, Ethan.
She was joking, Emily. It is her sense of humor. She has always been blunt and forward-thinking. She isn't trying to undermine you. She is trying to make sure that we, as a couple, don't lose the essence of who we are.
There is no we in her perspective. There is only you and her, and then there is me, the person she thinks is holding you back. Why can't you see the manipulation? She dresses her insults in the language of concern for your well-being, and you just sit there and nod.
I nod because she actually makes sense sometimes. You've been creating this atmosphere of tension, where I feel like I have to report my every move. Ruth sees it because she's an outsider, with a clear view. She's worried about me.
She is an outsider who has no right to have a view on the internal workings of our marriage. If you have a problem with my focus on our life together, you should tell me. You shouldn't be letting her build a case against me in your head.
Why is it so hard for you to accept that a woman can be a supportive, platonic part of a man's life, without it being some grand conspiracy?
Because a supportive friend respects the wife. A supportive friend doesn't call at midnight or tell the wife to be gentle with her own husband. She is crossing lines, and you are the one who is supposed to draw them back.
If I start drawing lines where they don't need to be, I am the one being disrespectful. I'm not going to hurt Ruth just to satisfy your insecurity.
So you would rather leave me in pain than risk making her feel uncomfortable? Is that where we are?
Your pain is self-inflicted, Emily. You're choosing to see a villain where there is only a friend. I am not going to participate in this cycle of suspicion anymore. It is exhausting, and it is beneath both of us.
I am trying to save us from a slow drift, but you are too busy protecting her image.
I'm just going to work. I can't deal with this level of drama before 9 in the morning. We will talk when you've decided to be more reasonable about this.
Oh, really? You are even starting to speak like her.
Maybe that's because she's the only one making sense right now. I'll see you tonight. Don't wait up if you're just going to start another interrogation.
Where are you going? You are already dressed and heading for the door, and I do not remember us having anything on the schedule for tonight.
I am so glad I caught you before I stepped out. Something came up at the last minute. There is a small celebration for one of the senior partners at the firm, and Ruth called me in a panic because the person who was supposed to co-host or assist with the presentation backed out. She really needs me to step in and fill that gap.
A celebration. You are heading out to a celebration on a night like this. Do you actually remember what today is, Ethan?
What is today? Please, just remind me quickly. Is it an appointment?
It is my birthday, Ethan. Today is my birthday. We had talked about finally having that quiet dinner we kept postponing.
Oh no, honey, I am so sorry. It completely slipped my mind with everything Ruth has been throwing at me regarding this event. But look, don't worry about it too much. We have celebrated your birthday every year, and we have so many more ahead of us. This one time won't change how I feel about you.
This one time? You are choosing to go and replace someone for Ruth's event on the one day that is supposed to be about me?
Ruth really needs me, Emily. She was very clear that if I don't show up to help her navigate this, she is going to be in a very difficult position with the board. She's going to be really mad if I bail now, and honestly, this is the first time she has actually needed me to do something of this magnitude for her career. I cannot just escape this.
But it's easy for you to escape your own wife's birthday. That is what you were telling me.
It is not like that. I will make it up to you, I promise. We can go out tomorrow, or even the day after, and do something even bigger than what we planned for tonight. Just let me handle this one thing for her, so she doesn't lose face.
You know what? Forget about it. Just forget I even reminded you. If her need is more important than my presence, then just go.
Please do not be like that. I am already running late, and the traffic is going to be a nightmare. I really have to go now.
Go, Ethan. Clearly, that is where your heart is anyway.
I'll call you when I'm leaving the venue. We'll talk then. Happy birthday, Emily. I mean it.
Doris, I have to be honest. My mind hasn't been at ease. I've run into Ethan a few times lately, and he wasn't alone. He was with that young lady, Ruth.
Oh, Ruth is like family. They are working on big projects together. Ethan says Emily is just a bit sensitive because she doesn't share their history.
I understand business, but there is a way a married man should carry himself. The last time I saw them, they were huddled so closely, an outsider would never have guessed he had a wife at home.
You think it has gone too far?
I have lived long enough to know innocent is the word people use right until the damage is irreversible. When a man gives that much emotional energy to another woman, he leaves his wife in the cold. It's a displacement, Doris. A wife should not be an afterthought in her husband's public life.
I've been hesitant to interfere. I didn't want to create drama.
It isn't drama to protect a marriage. It is a necessity. If Ethan doesn't draw a line, he will wake up and realize he built a life with a friend while his marriage became a shell. Talk to him, Doris. Not as a critic, but as a mother.
I already introduced Ethan to the lead coordinator while you were at the refreshment table, Emily. Someone has to make sure he doesn't miss these opportunities while he's distracted by smaller things.
You always seem to be steps ahead when it comes to managing my husband's social life.
I'm just looking out for his interests. Ethan, did you tell her about our meeting tomorrow evening? A real partner understands the grind doesn't stop just because it's the weekend.
She's right, honey. It's a sacrifice that will pay off for our future.
Our future? Or the future you and Ruth are building while I sit at home like furniture? I am tired of being the silent observer in this marriage.
Emily, lower your voice. People are looking. This is not the place.
Let them look. You are a puppet, Ethan, and she is pulling the strings right in front of my face.
See, Ethan? This is the instability I was telling you about. She can't handle seeing you succeed.
Emily, what is wrong with you?
What is disgraceful is a husband who lets another woman insult his wife. You humiliated me a long time ago. I'm just finally speaking the truth. Enjoy your meeting, Ethan. I hope she gives you the support you're looking for. I am finished with all of it.
I've been sitting here for an hour, just reading back through everything I sent to her. All the times I complained about Emily's attitude or how she didn't understand my work. I actually told Ruth things I hadn't even told my own wife. What was I thinking? I told myself it was just business, just an old friendship. But looking at this now, it's a mess. I let another woman sit in judgment of my marriage. I let Ruth talk down to Emily. And I just stood there like a coward because I didn't want to cause a scene. I've been so focused on being a good friend to Ruth that I completely failed at being a husband to Emily. No wonder she's so angry she won't even talk to me. I made her feel like she was crazy for seeing exactly what was happening right under my nose. I was the one who let the boundaries slip. I was the one who gave Ruth the power to walk into our lives and stir up all this trouble. I've been defending the wrong person this whole time. I was so worried about Ruth's feelings, but I wasn't worried about my wife's heart. I've messed up. I've really messed up, and now I don't even know if Emily will give me the chance to fix it. I have to make this right, starting tonight. No more excuses. No more Ruth. Just us. I didn't come here to discuss the project, Ruth. I came here to talk about the space you've been occupying in my life. It has to stop.
You look exhausted, Ethan. Is this about Emily again? I told you, if you just give her some space to calm down, she'll stop being so theatrical. You shouldn't let her moods dictate your professional day.
Do not talk about my wife that way. That is exactly where the problem starts. For months, I've allowed you to speak about her as if she's an obstacle to my happiness, and I've allowed myself to believe that you were the only one who understood me. I was wrong.
Where is this coming from? We have 20 years of history. I have been your support system when nobody else even knew your name. You're really going to throw that away because of a few domestic arguments?
It is the fact that I've given you the emotional intimacy that belongs to Emily. A real friend would have pushed me toward my wife, not away from her.
I was the one who listened when you complained. I was the one who encouraged your vision when she wanted you home for dinner. I've been more of a partner to you this year than she has ever been.
You aren't my partner. You're a friend who has forgotten her place, and I am a husband who failed to enforce it. From now on, there will be no late-night calls. No private venting about my home life. No more soulmate talk. If a conversation doesn't involve a blueprint or a deadline, it doesn't happen.
You're being cruel. She's finally gotten into your head, hasn't she? She's forcing you to choose. After everything I've done for you, you're just going to discard me like I'm nothing?
Nobody is forcing me, Ruth. I am choosing. I am choosing my wife. I am choosing the woman I made a covenant with over the person who enjoys watching my marriage fail. Your innocence ended the moment you started enjoying the rift between us.
You'll regret this. When you're bored and stifled, and she's nagging you about your schedule again, don't come running back to me. I won't be your safe harbor next time.
I hope there isn't a next time. I'm going to spend my energy building a harbor at home. Goodbye, Ruth. I'll send the final project files via email. Don't call me again. Emily, please just open the gate. I'm not here to argue. I just need you to listen to me for 5 minutes.
I don't want to hear anything from you, Ethan. Not tonight, and not ever again until you actually make things right. Go back to whoever has your attention, because I'm done.
I can't leave until you hear this. I'm done making excuses. It's over, Emily. I've officially set the boundaries with Ruth. At work, it's strictly professional. We greet each other, and that is it. No more private lunches or late-night venting. I won't ever let her or anyone else get close enough to make you feel insecure again. I mean it.
Come inside.
Before we say anything else, I need to say this. I am sorry, Emily. Truly sorry. I was incredibly blind, and I hate that I made you feel like a stranger in your own home. I should have protected you, but I was too busy protecting a friendship that didn't matter. Please, forgive me for being so selfish.
I told you this from the beginning, Ethan. I told you what she was doing, but you chose to believe her good intentions over my own eyes. I had already made up my mind to move out. I was ready to leave because I couldn't keep living as a second thought in my own marriage.
I know. And the thought of actually losing you finally woke me up. That apology isn't just words. I'm going to prove it. There will be no more compromises. You are my priority.
I'm glad you realized it before it was too late. I'm not even angry anymore. I'm just tired. But seeing you finally take a stand and hearing you own up to it makes me want to try. I'm going to take some time to think about this new path, but I'm staying.
Thank you for giving me that chance. I'm not going anywhere.
Good. I'm glad to hear all this. Let's make it work.
The heart of this story is a reminder that marriage is a sacred garden. It is not enough to plant love. You must also build a wall against those who seek to pluck its peace. Protect your intimacy from the influence of emotional outsiders. When a person allows an outsider to become their primary confidant or defends a friend's disrespect over their partner's peace, they are essentially leaving their home undefended. A true marriage requires both partners to be each other's first priority, ensuring that no outside voice, no matter how long the history, is allowed to sow seeds of division or make a spouse feel like a stranger in their own home. We must learn to be the gatekeepers of our own peace, understanding that love is the foundation, but firm boundaries are the walls that keep the covenant standing strong. As the Bible tells us in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it."